Have you noticed this? Over the past few years, life hasn't just gotten more expensive. Feels like something deeper has shifted. Not all at once, not overnight, but gradually, step by step. Everything started to get harder. But what if I told you, this isn't just inflation? What if what you're feeling right now is actually the result of a chain reaction? A series of global events that started years ago, and they're still unfolding today. Because this didn't start yesterday, not even last year. It really began during the COVID-19 pandemic. The world hit pause. Planes were grounded, cities emptied, people stayed home, factories slowed down or shut completely. And in that moment, something unusual happened. Oil demand collapsed. Energy use dropped in ways no one expected. For a brief moment, it almost felt like everything had stopped. But then, the world came back. And it didn't creep back slowly. It came back all at once. People traveled again. Factories fired back up. Demand surged. Everyone wanted everything at the same time. But supply couldn't keep up. That gap between demand and supply, that was the first crack in the system. Then came the second blow, the Russia-Ukraine war. And this wasn't just another geopolitical conflict. It reshaped the entire energy equation. One of the world's biggest energy suppliers was now directly involved in war. Sanctions hit. Supply chains faltered. Europe felt the squeeze immediately. Energy became unpredictable. Markets didn't just react. Prices shot up. What started as a recovery suddenly felt like a crisis. And the system was already fragile. When a system is fragile, even small shocks feel massive. That's exactly what happened during the Suez Canal blockage. One ship, just one ship, managed to block one of the most important trade routes in the world. Days of delays. Ships stuck. Goods frozen in place. Supply chains stretched to the breaking point. And in that moment, the world realized something critical. Everything is connected. Your local store relies on global logistics. Your everyday products depend on international movement. And when that movement stalls, everything costs more. Then, just as things were stabilizing, another factor came into play. Not a war, not a disaster, a decision. OPEC Plus chose to cut oil production on purpose, strategically. And just like that, prices didn't just rise because of chaos. They were being pushed up intentionally. When supply is limited, prices go up. Simple, but the ripple effect, far from simple. Meanwhile, tensions started rising again in the Middle Eastern region, always central to global energy, particularly involving Iran, Israel, and indirectly, the U.S. With that tension came a familiar fear to markets, the fear of disruption, the fear of escalation, and most importantly, fear around one critical spot, the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow passage, but one of the most vital energy routes in the world. A huge portion of global oil flows through there. If it's disrupted, even partially, the impact is massive, not just for oil, for everything. Here's what most people don't get. Markets don't just react to what happens. They react to what might happen. Fear alone can move prices. Uncertainty alone can make everything more expensive. And that's when this global story becomes personal.
Hey, can I ask you something? Why is everything suddenly so expensive? I mean, seriously. My skincare, my makeup, cleaning products, even basic groceries. Every time I go shopping. It's more than last time. And it's not just a little more. It's noticeably more.
That's the moment people feel it, not in the news, not in the markets, but in daily life. It's not random. It's oil.
Oil? What does oil have to do with all this?
Everything. Oil isn't just what you put in your car. It's inside the system. Your skincare products, made with chemical processes, many relying on petroleum-based ingredients. Cosmetics often contain oil derivatives. Shampoo, cleaning products, daily essentials, all rely on industrial production. And that production requires energy, which is deeply tied to oil. But here's the bigger part. Everything you use travels, produced in one place, packaged somewhere else, shipped across cities, countries, even continents, stored in warehouses, and finally delivered to your local store. Every step of that journey needs fuel. So when oil prices rise, it's not just gas that costs more. Transportation costs more. Production costs more. Packaging costs more. Everything that touches that product before it reaches you costs more.
So you're telling me I'm paying more because of stuff happening thousands of miles away?
Exactly. Because the system works like a chain. Oil goes up, transportation costs rise, production costs climbs, retail prices increase, and suddenly your life gets more expensive. Not because you changed anything, but because the system did. And maybe the scariest part is not just about what's already happened, it's about what could happen next. A crisis doesn't stay where it starts. It spreads, it moves, it reaches you, your home, your kitchen, your wallet. And maybe the real question isn't why things are expensive anymore. It's what happens next. Is this just the beginning? Or is it the first wave of something much bigger? What do you think? Will prices keep rising? If you'd like to explore more topics like this together, you can support the channel by subscribing. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and stay tuned for more.